Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Michael B. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. And in today's video, we got a ton of pinball news for you. We've got pinball news for the people who like virtual pinball. We got pinball news for the people that are interested in an at-home physical pinball machine. And last but not least, we've got news on a brand new commercial pinball. Everything that you could want for the varied pinball enthusiast. So that's right, guys. In today's video, we got a lot of exciting news to share with you. AtGames have released their February calendar. We've got an update on the upcoming Alice Goes to Wonderland Pinball from Wonderland Amusements. And last but not least, we've got a brand new pinball company that you may remember if you're a Super Game Room Dudes fan, announcing their first machine. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the video. Guys, I always appreciate your support. If this is your first time to the channel, you like what you see, go ahead, subscribe, click the bell for notification, all that YouTube jazz. So you guys may remember a while back, we had a company called Tilt Bob Pinball, which were a new pinball manufacturing company on Super Game Room Dudes. It was Tampa Tech and a buddy of his in Florida who I think is Bob Nees. Anyways, Bob is known for making wonderful homebrew pinball machines, and him and Tampa Tech were joining up to form their first ever real commercial pinball machine called Road Trip. And they demoed some very early looks at the machine on this show, but we really haven't heard anything about it since. Well, fast forward to today, where we got an official announcement that was released thanks to Nap Arcade. A huge shout out to Jason Knapp. I'll leave a link to the article in the description below so you can go check it out yourself. He actually had a big update from Tilt Bob, which is now going by Ramps Pinball. So they have changed the name, but the game remains the same. It's still going to be Road Trip. So they talk a little bit about Ramps Pinball. I got to get used to saying this. And they talk about the upcoming pinball machine that's going to be released commercially in the very near future. So the game features the following: a dynamic playfield where players hit a target to change the physical game flow, a drain save pop-up VUK, 4 flippers, multiple ramps, 4 pop bummers, a car bash toy, rotating raccoon, which is a big feature of this, 3 cow tip and bash targets, 2 mechanical ball locks, an animated dinosaur, playfield screen that acts as navigation and car radio. So if anybody's ever seen like James Bond limited edition from Stern, it has a very similar place screen in the playfield. What else do we got here? Invisiglass, which is a good thing. That's also big from Stern. That's a premium glass you replace your normal glass with. A knocker, shaker motor, and custom powder coating. The Ramps Pinball is bringing the game to the Texas Pinball Festival in mid-March. Machines are currently scheduled to go on sale in April. So March, you're going to be able to get your first look at people playing the pinball machine, and the machines are going on sale in April. So they're only going to be doing 500 units, so it's going to be a pretty limited run. Don't see a price anywhere, but they give a link to the Ramps Pinball website and an advertisement for Pinball at the Beach. There's a look at the finished machine, so you can see the art on the side. I will tell you, I like the art on this side a lot more than the other side, but this really screams like 80s pinball to me. I don't know why, but I'm not saying it's bad art, but I don't know how it stands up compared to more mainstream companies. I mean, you look at Stern, but I'm not saying it's bad by any means. This side is really good. We go down here to the playfield, and the playfield is absolutely beautiful. You've got tons of mechs here. Look at this raccoon in the car. There's another raccoon over there. Lots of cool loops. It looks like it's going to be an interesting layout. Definitely not an open, fan layout by any means, but it'll be interesting to see how the flow of the game is. Playfield art is very similar to the art on the side of the cabinet. So, it's got like an 80s look to it almost. So that might be appealing to some other people. There's your dinosaur. Like nothing looks cheap, like 3D printed. Like everything looks really good. So this is very interesting. There's a better look at the playfield Yeah, so it is a lot more open when you get a look down here. So that's interesting. And there's that LCD screen that's going to be right there on the board, providing navigation. Like I mentioned, this was, shown up in James Bond Premium from Stern or Limited Edition. There's the shoot again. There's your flippers, lights on the bumper. I can't tell right here. It looks like maybe it's only right here, but it doesn't look like there's a ton of lights on the playfield. So it'll be interesting to see this thing more in motion because it doesn't look like it has a pile of lights there right now. So that'll be interesting. There's a look at the back box. It's got very similar art to the side, very 80s, inspired. I think it's kind of inspired by National Lampoon's Vacation, so that may be very intentional, so keep that in mind, but looks very interesting. And then we go down here and we go to the other side. And the other side, it looks a little rougher, right? Because you get the guy in the broken down car. I think the other side, there's definitely continuity between the two sides, but it's just, this is going to be a choice for people on the art styles. And there's Ramps Road Trip. Here's the promotional flyer that gives all the same information we just talked about. First ever load your own music onto the radio. That's really interesting and smart, where this is a really small, boutique type company. Obviously, licensing music would cost a fortune. So the very easiest way to do it is for you to upload your own MP3s. So very smart move there. And that's going to be a unique piece for pinball. I'm sure a lot of people with band machines out there, kind of like Guns N' Roses, Metallica, wish they had an option to add additional songs to their pinball machines. So very, very cool feature there. And there's the new logo, Ramps Pinball Manufacturing. Definitely more subtle than the Tilt Bob Pinball. I would love to know why the change of name. And they're over here, too cool for deposits, so they're not taking deposits on the machine. Once they go on sale, they go on sale, so no upfront deposits. So if you head on over to the Ramps website, you can see that they're still very early in the process. Right now, they've just got a basic website set up. Their Ramps, machines, events, contact, and then of course they've got a picture of the back glass here and then a notification tool. So if you're interested, you can submit your email and you'll get email updates about what's going on with Ramps Pinball, and especially their first machine that we now know is going to be available in April, Road Trip. Here's a couple looks at the play field and explaining a couple things about the game. Hit a target to change the physical game flow. That's going to be interesting. So that's a lot like what they're doing, what they did with Venom. So it'll be interesting to see how that's implemented. Original artwork, hand-drawn custom artwork from the inside out, including different viewpoint of the cabinet art on each side. We talked about that. I think art is going to be subjective to most. Some people may love it. And again, it's inspired by that whole 80s road trip type movies. Think National Lampoon's Vacation. Unique game modes. Look at that cow. That cow's pretty silly. Uniquely designed drop targets for cow tipping modes. Enjoy some laughs as you try to hit the bullseye. I remember during our interview, they talked about they're really trying to employ a lot of comedy into the table. Everything's handcrafted, no 3D printing. Playfield has been carefully manufactured with zero rollover wires, revealing the artful design. And then, of course, they got the same design and approximate launch mid-April 2025. Same logo again, no deposits, and the notify me on the bottom again. So anyways, it's good to follow up with these guys as they were on Super Game Room Dudes a long time ago. So it's good to see this project came along, moving forward, and I wish them nothing but success. It's great to see more and more companies get into the commercial pinball world, which means there's going to be more stuff that collectors can buy, and especially more stuff that can be out there in local pinball places or arcades for us to check out. Anyways, moving on, I want to talk about more physical pinball, but this time physical pinball that's designed for at home and an affordable price. So you guys may remember a couple weeks back, the team at Wonderland Amusements actually showed off their first look at the pinball machine and their first look at the backglass and the art package for Alice Goes to Wonderland right before they launched their Kickstarter. Now, a lot of people were very happy with the art. It's got a very cool look to it, but one of the things that really stuck out and for some reason seemed to catch people and bother people was specifically the look on Alice's face. They felt that she looked maybe a little bit too gothic, which is the style of the artist. You can see the actual machine here. They're going to go up and play, but a lot of people were focused on Alice, saying she had a zombie-like look to her. Me personally, I know the story of Alice in Wonderland is all about drug use, so I just assumed she was kind of zonked out, but people were not exactly happy with her look. Now, here's an example of a company taking constructive criticism and doing the right thing, showing how dynamic they are, being able to change in stride. They took that feedback about the backglass and the art being a little dark, and also about Alice looking a little gothic, zombie-like, or strung out, and made some changes that I think are really, really good here and makes the machine look a lot better. So zeroing in on Alice's face specifically, you can see they added a little bit more color by making her eyes blue, which really make it pop. They made her face look a little bit lighter, a little bit tones of blush. Now she looks more like a real innocent girl, which is what a lot of people envision. They have their own mindset of what Alice should look like when it comes to Alice in Wonderland. This is what we're getting. Me personally, I wasn't too upset with it, but I gotta say, the new look does look better. So guys, I guess you can see the transition or flow of this video. It's very well laid out when you think about it. We went from commercial pinball, which is something that a lot of us probably won't be able to experience at home because of the price points. It's something we're going to have to go to the arcade for. We then moved on to an update for Wonderland Amusements and their at-home physical machine, which the price is a little bit more digestible at $1,000. Still not affordable for everybody, but definitely a lot easier to take than, $6,000 for an at-home Stern machine or $7,000 for a Pro. Now we're moving on to the one that most of us in this space have kind of got into and enjoyed, which is virtual pinball. And we're going to be talking about AtGames because AtGames have released their February calendar, and now we have a better understanding, not full, but better understanding of the releases we can expect to see from AtGames this month. So like I mentioned earlier, AtGames have released their February calendar. The typical things are in there, like your Flipper Friends tournaments, but the exciting things are, of course, National Owners Day and the new pinball releases. We're getting Zancor Deluxe, then we've got a Zen Studios release that's unannounced. We've got Battletoads, Killer Instinct maybe coming out, and then you go into the Flipper Friends tournaments here, but a lot of games coming out this month that we can enjoy on our Legends Pinball 4K devices. So guys, let's go through the presentation in a little bit more slow-mo so I can get through most of this stuff. So here we have the February calendar, and as you can see, there's no new games coming until the 13th, which is next Thursday, which is also going to be the start of National Owners Day. What's Valentine's Day if it's not a time to ignore your wife and play some pinball on your AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. I always find it funny. They throw these events during Valentine's Day. It's not a great time for me to be buying pinball or AtGames products or be spending time away from my family, but this is traditionally the time they do it, and, who's to break tradition? Anyways, the first day of National Owners Day, we're getting Zancor Deluxe. I'm looking forward to that. I actually really enjoyed Space Shuttle Deluxe, so excited to see what Zancor Deluxe is like. I don't know if this is something that was previously out or this is a brand new pinball game that we're going to get, because I'm not really into the Zaccaria, Magic Pixel games on the PC. I haven't really followed up on that, so this may be something that already exists, maybe something brand new. I don't know, but it's new to me on the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. Then after Nod ends, we're going to have to wait all the way till the 19th until we get our next Zen Studios release. That's what I'm really here for. I love the Zen Studio games on the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly what it is, other than it's going to be a single game pack. So there's lots of things we can assume there. It's either going to be a Zen original, or it's going to be possibly one of the Williams tables. I don't know why they're not showing these off. Obviously, the easy assumption is because of the Tomb Raider game leak on the last Zen Studios calendar AtGames release. They're going with this, where it's kind of a surprise. I'm okay with that. I like surprises, so I'm looking forward to see what the game is going to be on the 19th. We also got some news coming up on the rest of the Rare Pinball Pack, which we'll get into in a little bit. But on the 26th, we've got another Zen single game pack. So same thing as the 19th. I'm okay with it being a surprise. Hopefully it's a fun surprise. And then on the 27th, we're getting Primal Carnage. So we've got 4 new pinball games coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K, and 2 at least coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball HD in the month of February. Now we go down to the upcoming Legends 4K pinball table releases like we just talked about. We got Zencore Deluxe, then we get a Zen Studios release, and here's the interesting one, to be confirmed. So we've got the potential of getting the rest of the Rare Studios pinball pack coming up this February. Killer Instinct and Battletoads, 2 iconic arcade titles, and from what I've heard from sources so far, Killer Instinct is pretty rad, so I'm excited to check that one out. Like we said, then we've got Primal Carnage. There you can get a little look at it down below. I think Primal Carnage is a game that's already available on PC, so you can go check that out if you're interested. And those are the new games coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K in the month of February. Hopefully we get the rest of the Rare Pinball Pack. I know it's in testing now. Can't wait to see what they did here. I really like Sea of Thieves. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I thought it was excellent, and excited to see what they do with Battletoads and Killer Instinct. So anyways, guys, that's my big pinball news update for today. I guess you can say I'm a pinball channel now. That's the terms everybody throws around. If you make a video talking about something you're interested in that's not specific to them, they're like, he's a pinball channel now. Anyways, a lot of stuff I'm interested in. I love the fact that I'm following up on the Super Game Room Dudes episode when we had Tilt Bob Pinball in. All kinds of success to our buddy Tampa Tech, who actually works for AtGames now, believe it or not. So this all ties together somehow. And Bob Nees on their first table. Hopefully it's a huge success and it looks really interesting. I'm not exactly in love with the art, but I get what you're going for here. Then, of course, Wonderland Amusements, their Alice Goes to Wonderland table. I like the fact that they're listening to the fan feedback, making changes, and I do think Alice looks better. I think the back glass and the art package overall benefit from the changes they made. And then last but not least, more virtual pinball come to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K. Mystery surrounds the Zen Studios packs, but that's okay. I like the anticipation. I don't like knowing. I like guessing. So excited to see what these are, and really fingers crossed the Rare Pinball packs come out this month. Very excited to check out Killer Instinct and Battletoads. Anyways, guys, let me know down in the comments below what you think about all the pinball news we covered today. Is there anything you're really interested in? Are you like a physical collector? Or are you like a big, pinball arcade enthusiast? Are you excited for the new Road Trip game? Are you going to check it out? Are you going to Texas Pinball Fest? Maybe there you can check it out. What about Alice Goes to Wonderland? Has the change in art swayed your opinion on the table or machine, And is it, pushing you one way or another in the direction of either doing the Kickstarter or not? And then last but not least, are you excited for National Owners Day? Of course, there's going to be sales. We don't have that information at this time, but all the pinball games, possibly coming 6 new games, coming to the AtGames Legends Pinball 4K in February, potentially. Is that something that you're excited for? Anyways, guys, thank you so very much for watching. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you next time.